Well, bonjour ginawa. Hello to all of you. Anishinaabe. I'm an Anishinaabe. I'm a human being. My spirit name is Eagle Warrior. My English American name is John MORRIN. When I was a young boy, as my mother was trying to teach me the 7 teachings and values and principles, and she always talked about sharing, and that as Anishinaabe, we're giving and we're sharing people. We say that our spirit is in balance when our heart and our mind are working together. We call that sokan, and that's when our spirit is in balance, when we think with our heart. These 7 teachings, grandfather and grandmother teachings, reinforce that energy in our heart. And it keeps our humanity in balance in relationship to all of creation. The word in our language for respect is MINAADENDAMOWIN. It's the responsibility of the adults to teach the children respect. We've got to respect ourselves before we can respect our people, and before we can respect the nation, and before we can respect the Creator in a true way. So respect is very important for anybody that becomes a tribal leader. Is first respect yourself before you can respect the people that you've been elected to serve and take care of. ZAAGI'IDIWIN is the word for love. So if we teach love in a good way, for a person to love themselves, and then they can truly love their people, they can truly love the nation, and they can truly love the Creator. And that every time we speak or relate to somebody, we speak out of love. So it's important for a tribal leader to understand that principle. It's a very important principle, that if you get elected to a tribal government and you have all this responsibility, you better have some love for yourself before you can truly serve your people and love your people in the way that we were taught at a very young age. The word in our language for truth is DEBWEWIN. In order for us to live a way of life of truth, we first have to be truthful to ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves. As you love yourself, as you respect yourself, we feel that the next teaching of truth, then we can be truthful to ourselves. So that's another very important aspect of tribal leadership, I believe, is that we always have to be truthful to ourselves so that we can always be truthful to the people that we got elected to serve and take care of. In our language, the word for humility is DABAADENDIZIWIN. You're a human being, you're going to make mistakes, and you should always be able to accept. That's the principle of humility, and the ability to even laugh at yourself when you make those mistakes, so that you don't put yourself down. So that it also prevents me from making judgments on other people. And that's a very important principle as a tribal leader, I believe, is to have humility, that you're going to make mistakes because we have a lot of responsibility. We got a lot of things that we do sometimes, and decisions that we make on a daily basis. And there are times when, and we've known, this has been my experience, we are going to make mistakes sometimes. And so we got to be able to learn from those mistakes and not put ourselves down, but keep ourselves in a good frame of mind, with an understanding, yes, that's just part of being a human being. GWAYAKWAADIZIWIN, and that is the word for honesty. I believe a tribal leader, that at all times you must be honest with your people, and but first you got to be honest with yourself. In an understanding of who you are as Anishinaabe. DEBWEWIN. DEBWEWIN is the word in our language for bravery or courage. Sometimes we talk about courage. If you're advocating on behalf of the people, There are some times you've got to go out and you've got to be brave enough sometimes to face the people. You know, if you made a mistake or you made a decision and the people are really questioning that decision, they weren't aware of it, that your bravery encourages to go and face the people about the decision you made. A lot of times we have to go out and talk with different bureaucrats, people from Washington, D.C., and so you got to be able to have the courage and the bravery sometimes to speak on behalf of the people, even though you're going to maybe run into some resistance from the powers that be. And I think when people see that within a tribal leader, that they also have the courage and the bravery to come and approach you at times, or even disagree with you. And we feel that's very important, that you've got to understand that you got to have the courage and the bravery to also take criticism. I think that's very important as a tribal leader. NIBWAAKAAWIN. NIBWAAKAAWIN is the word for wisdom. Anybody who wants to be a tribal leader should study first. Study our Constitution, study laws that have affected us and still affect us today. Understand the American political system, so that when we have to go advocate on behalf of our people and our governments, that we know what we're up against and we can truly advocate in a very wise way. And so we always gotta be aware that as a tribal leader, we can always learn more. We can always learn more things that really make us a more effective tribal leader. It takes a discipline. You have to always be, when you wake up in the morning, always think about these principles as you walk through life, as you go doing your job as a tribal leader, that you got to keep all these principles in mind, because this is what makes you a whole human being, and it makes us whole, that we can truly live mino-bimaadiziwin, a good way of life.